We came out here to tell you to your face, you can't get ready for us. No, sir.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my...
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One, and we are here today to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling. We got a lot of news from New Japan Pro Wrestling today. Also, we're going to be talking about the WWE draft. Does it really matter about the draft? Because the way I looked at it this past Monday and Friday, or last Friday, I mean, reality, nothing much has changed if you really think about it. But we're going to be talking about that and whatnot. But we're going to jump on the WWE draft. Let's start off with that right away, because the WWE draft, I don't think anything is going to change. And funny thing is, the more things don't change, the more the fan base gets real upset, and they go psychotic on anything that has to do with AEW. Okay, and the reason I say that is because, you know, these what I call WWE stans and these WWE loyalists who they cannot see anything wrong that WWE does is, you know, they are now taking shots and getting upset because, you know, AEW is about to do something that we do not expect, and that is the fact that they're about to break Wembley Stadium records. Okay, they already, through the pre-sale, they already have sold over 56,000 tickets already. So this doesn't go well for most of these WWE stands and these droids who gets upset. Why are you worrying about AEW or what they doing when you should be worrying about WWE? Don't get mad now because Vince McMahon is back, and a lot of the WWE draft that happened this past Monday, you could tell it was a Vince McMahon call. The majority of the people they got, if we could look at the draft and whatnot, or I could see the draft actually, you know, the draft, I could read down the list of who got to Raw. Akira Tozawa, they're not going to use him. Angel Garza, Lotharios, they are not going to use him as part as tag team concerned. Apollo Crews, they're not going to use him. Baron Corbin, come on. That guy's career has already been destroyed in WWE. And I used to be a big fan of his until he became a company man, because he was getting all these opportunities that was given to him. Title shot after title shot after title shot. And now they pretty much have buried him. And yeah, people probably say, oh, he's not buried. You know, yes. What he has done in the last year and a half, they had him in this pretty much of a, he was a bum, and then he became rich, and then he started getting into Moscat, whatever his name is. And at the end, he ends up losing. They put him with JBL. He got embarrassed pretty much in that storyline. Where he's at? I mean, he got a nice little ovation in France, which I give him that much. But then again, people out of the United States appreciate more WWE because they don't get them every year. So, of course, they're going to appreciate him. They're seeing him on TV, whatever. Braun Strowman and Ricochet, they brought him in as a tag team for what? They didn't win the tag teams in SmackDown. They're not going to win the titles here. Same thing goes Bronson Reed. You know, Bronson Reed, this guy should be pushed to the moon. Mr. Jonah, the man I met back in House of Glory a year ago. You know, a beast. The man who beat Okada at the New Japan, I think it was a G1 Climax. Pinned Okada. All right? The kingpin of New Japan. That's who he pinned. Okay? Cody Rhodes, of course, he's not going anywhere. And I want to talk about that. Damian Priest of Judgment Day, and he wasn't going to. So they again, you can see they were drafting people that are already in their respective brands. Dexter Lumis or Lumis or Gargano. Lumis, I haven't seen him in God knows how long. Dominic Mysterio of Judgment Day, he wasn't going to go anywhere. Drew McIntyre, we don't know what his status is, if he's going to come back or not. His contract's up in the air. Elias, waste of time. Eric from the Viking Raiders, it means the Viking Raiders are on Raw now. Finn Balor wasn't going nothing. Giovanni Vinci of Imperium, Gunter of Imperium, so they brought Imperium to Raw. Alberto Carrillo, Loser Carrillo, the Lothario, another guy they're not really going to use. J.D. McDonald, I don't know who the hell is that. Jinder Mahal, clown, okay? So I'm going to go on. Here's the sad part. Johnny Gargano wasn't even picked in the draft on Monday on TV, but he's part of Raw. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're the undisputed tag team champion. They could go anywhere they want. So I don't know why they even did that. So basically what I'm trying to say is maximum male models, clowns with Maxi Dupree and Mansoor. Matt Riddle wasn't going to go anywhere. The Miz is going to. Odyssey Jones, I don't know who the hell he is. Riddick Moss and whatnot. Zonga from Indushir, whatever. These are people that pick. Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura. These guys are not going nowhere. Xavier Wood of the New Day. And then the women's division. They got Becky Lynch, Candice LeRae, Charlotte Flair, Dana Brooke, Emma, Ink Harwell, Lita, Liv Morgan. Lita, why is she even getting drafted? Okay. Maxine Dupree of the Maximum Male Models, Natalia, Nikki Cross, Piper Niven, Raquel Gonzalez. Rhea Ripley was not going anywhere. She's the Raw superstar and the SmackDown champion, which we're going to see something they pulled up in 2019 or 2020 when they had the issue between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch over the switching of the title. That made a big fucking scene back in the days when Charlotte dropped the Raw Woman title on Becky Lynch's feet. That turned out to be a massive bull crap, a big story back then. Okay, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler tag team are in there. Sonya Deville, Tegan Knox, Trish Stratus. Why is Trish Stratus being picked? Don't know why. Is she part of Raw completely? She's not a part-timer? That's what you're trying to tell me? Valhalla of the Viking Raiders, Xia Li, Zoe Starks. Okay? And then the Raw tag team, which is funny because I saw that Cedric Anderson and Shelton Benjamin were the free agents, but yet they got picked up by Raw tag team as part of Raw's tag team division. So, my thing is, none of this stuff is going to change anything. It's not. SmackDown picked up Grayson Waller. Karrion Kross is still in SmackDown. They didn't put him in Raw. Karrion Kross should be getting title shots against Roman Reigns, and they're not even doing that. This man came back for what? For what? These are little things that you got to pinpoint. You know what I'm saying? I could pinpoint the same thing. Okay? The Usos were not going anywhere. They were going to stay in SmackDown. They're never going to stay in Raw. And then you're not going to follow up with that Bloodline storyline? Come on. Okay? Kid Wilson from Pretty Deli. I don't know who the hell is that. Joaquin Wilder, Latino World Order were not going anywhere. They weren't going anywhere. Roman Reigns was not going to go anywhere. So basically what I'm trying to say is any of this stuff is going to change WWE? It's not. It's not going to change anything. Because guess who's in charge? I don't care if the people say, oh, but Triple H is in charge. Triple H has been in charge since it's been a year, supposedly. And I'm going to say supposedly, okay? And yet, they put it this way. The WrestleMania that happened this year was one of the greatest WrestleMania I've seen in a long, long time. But then they follow up the night after WrestleMania was garbage. And they have not recuperated this. Now they bring in the World Heavyweight title and whatnot. And it's obviously what we saw Monday is that Seth Rollins is the favorite to win this world title. Which means to tell me that Cody Rhodes is going to go through all these hard times. Like his father used to talk about his promo. He's going to go through all this nonsense to get another title shot. He has to win the Royal Rumble again in order for him to then wrestle Roman Reigns, which means that Roman Reigns is going to be champion from now to all the way to next year's WrestleMania. How long are we going to keep putting up with this garbage? It's ridiculous. And this is what I'm telling you. And then the WWE fans, and the stands, I'm going to say the stands and the droids who are toxic like a mofo. Okay? And they're the first ones that, are trying to defend every little milk and cranny that is wrong with this freaking company, and yet they're still talking about, WWE is the best and nothing's wrong with it. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? No. Because we already see they got everybody. Gunther being in Raw pretty much killed Sheamus ever winning the Intercontinental Champion. Sheamus is never going to win the Intercontinental Champion because now the Intercontinental Champion got moved to Raw. And now to top it off, Sheamus is still stuck in SmackDown. So you can see what I'm talking about? It just don't make no sense. It makes no sense. I mean, tonight's Backlash, which I'm here right now, so I won't be able to give you the reviews on it. Maybe next week I'll look at it tonight and see what's the outcome of that, what my thoughts are. But the fact that Seth Rollins is wrestling Omos, I don't know what to say with that. AEW this week, we saw, I don't know what to say, but Wednesday was pretty good. I cannot say that it was garbage because it wasn't. It was much better. Of course, we saw Orange Cassidy, Bandito, Cole, Adam Cole, and Roderick Strong versus JAS. I like the ending of that because they won the Orange Cassidy, Bandito, Adam Cole, and Strong beat the Jericho Appreciation Society. And then afterward, Adam Cole went after Chris Jericho and started beating on him because Jericho decided to come out. And the JS came out and had a Britt Baker shirt who's been making a lot of news this week with a black eye on it, pretty much sending Adam Cole up, getting him upset, trying to make him lose focus of the match and whatnot. Also, we saw Saraya versus Willow Nightingale. I still don't understand. When I saw this, I said they still with the same story, but you could tell that there's going to be a fourth member for the Outcast, which will probably be Taya Mello. And I'm going to say that because Taya Mello was part of NXT, and my boy Mike told me about it. He said Taya Mello was never an original in AEW, but I could see her being part of the Outcast also because now Hiroki Shida, this week pretty much looked like she was going to join the Outcast, and she ended up turning on the Outcast as Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter came out, and she sprayed Saraya in the eyes with that green spray, and the rest is history. We saw a trios battle royal, which pretty much looks like whoever wins that will get a title shot against the House of Black. The Acclaim won that. I mean, there weren't a lot of trios tag team in there. They were good. We saw Vikingo and the Lucha Brothers team up, which looked pretty good. Something to watch. Warlord beat some jobber again, and it looks like instead of Luchasaurus, who's supposed to be getting a title shot for the TNT title, it's going to be Christian. So it looks like I can see Luchasaurus, the right hand of destruction, like Christian calls him, turning on Christian and becoming a babyface once again. We saw Ricky Stark versus Juice Robinson. Good match. Afterwards, we saw Juice Robinson getting hit with the Roshan Ball by Ricky Starks and getting pinned. Afterwards, Ricky Stark got attacked by Jay White, but Ricky Stark made a comeback. So it looks like Jay White will be feuding with Ricky Starks. I mean, it's a slow process when it comes to Jay White, which is I don't see Jay White being the top heel onto next year when Mr. MJF loses the belt and probably heads out to WWE. The Four Pillars tag team match, that was pretty good, and I love the way they kind of put the Darby Allin and Jack Perry tag team in jeopardy as MJF tried to talk to Jack Perry, saying, look, you could lay down for me, whatever. That's the same thing that MJF tries to do. And Darby Allin came out, and it looked like there was going to be issues between them two, Jack Perry and Darby Allin. But at the end, the Darby Allin ended up, which it was really weird because you saw Darby Allin went and hit his coffin drop while Jack Perry was trying to pin Sammy Guevara. And they ended up winning, Darby Allin and Jack Perry. And it looks like Sammy Guevara and MJF are no longer friends because, MJF, I think, attacked Sammy Guevara at one point. And it looks like, the four-way pillar is going to happen. We still got about 2-3 weeks left for that, which is going to be pretty good. I cannot wait to see it. So, a lot of people were not too happy with the show. It could have been done better. What I wasn't happy this week was with that stupid deletion, the firm deletion, with Matt Hardy, the Hardy Boys, Hook, and now they call it Brother Zay, Isaiah Cassidy, against the firm. I wasn't too crazy about that. Don't care about it. My problem with AEW is why in the hell is Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett getting another title shot, tag team title shot against FTR? Makes no sense. I don't know why. Jeff Jarrett has been too many times on TV. I don't know why, but it's just annoying as it goes, okay? So let me go right to some New Japan news this week. And New Japan, we had the, I believe was the Wrestling Dontaku on Tuesday. I think the third was a Tuesday. No, Wednesday. I'm sorry. On Wednesday, we saw the Wrestling Dontaku, and there were a lot of stuff that happened in that event. David Finley defeated Tama Tonga for the Never Openweight title. I mean, he beat him so bad. I'm talking about he powerbombed him at least 3 or 4 times, where Tama Tonga was taken out in a stretcher. But after the match, Mr. Phantasmo came in the ring and whatnot after Ghetto was talking his nonsense on the microphone, and he got rocked by Phantasmo, and Phantasmo attacked David Finley. So it looks like David Finley and Phantasmo will be feuding for this Never Openweight title. An interesting situation that I learned was that Tama Tonga has been wrestling without a New Japan Pro Wrestling contract. Automatically, people are talking about, you could bring in Tama Tonga to WWE, become part of the OC. What? That will make no damn sense, because wasn't in January at Wrestle Kingdom when the Good Brothers, especially Carl Anderson, they turned on Tama Tonga. I think it was last year and whatnot, and Tama Tonga lost the belt to Carl Anderson. It wasn't until this past Wrestle Kingdom where Carl Anderson ended up losing the belt to Tama Tonga, and he is not coming to WWE, especially with his little brother Haku still in New Japan Pro Wrestling. No, he's not going anywhere. Give it time. Maybe he needs some time off. He's probably going to take out time off. We'll see. Also, something interesting also. Kazuchika Okada and Hiroshi Tanahashi and Tomohiro Ishii won the Never 6-Man tag team titles from Desperado, Minoru Suzuki, and oh my God, what's the other guy? I forgot the other guy's name. But they won the 6-man title. The interesting part about it is this is the first time that Okada has won a championship that has nothing to do with the world title. So this is the first time he going to be without the world title as far as chasing it. He's going to be the part of the 6-man title. But this was reported back probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, when he said that he looked like he was going to take a time. He was going to wrestle singles. He was going to be more in the tag team. He's been teaming up with Hiroshi Tanahashi. They challenged Bushimon not long ago. Goto and Yoshihashi. They lost. I think it was the last New Japan show here in the United States. Philadelphia Collision. But we'll see. Maybe, he's probably preparing himself because the G1 Climax is coming up in July, and we'll see what happens there. Hikuleo, Tama Tonga's brother, defeated Kenta for the New Japan Strong Openweight title. So he becomes a world champion for the New Japan Open Strong or New Japan Strong Openweight division. So he has that belt and whatnot. I don't know if it's a world champion. Let me correct that. Maybe here in the United States for New Japan Strong Openweight champion. So he defeated Kenta. So Kenta's title reign did not last long. He only had that belt since February when he beat Fred Rosser for it. So Hikuleo, first singles title, he wins it. Yoda Sushi. Now, a lot of people don't know who this guy is. Yoda Sushi used to be a young lion. Used to open up matches here in Japan, New Japan, and he used to be one of those guys that opened up the matches before the big event, the pre-shows, whatever. So he went an excursion to Mexico, United Kingdom, and came back with a new look. So he came back. He returned to New Japan Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and ends up, ready for this? He joins LIJ. LIJ just lost Sonata. Now they gain another person back. So now Yoda Sushi is now going to be the one who's going to be challenging Sonata after Sonata beat Hiromu Takahashi at Wrestling Dontaku. And, after the bout, he made his Sushi made his return and attacking Sonata and declaring his allegiance to LIJ. So that was very interesting. Also, we saw Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jeff Cobb. That match went the distance. It went to a 15-minute time limit draw. So they end up going to wrestle again in Dominion. So also, they announced that New Japan announced that Jon Moxley will be at New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion in June. So that pretty much leaves the door open for who to see the Blackpool Combat Club probably ends up in Japan, New Japan. So New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion is scheduled for June 4th. We have Jon Moxley's going to be in action, like I said. Hiroshi Tanahashi or Will Ospreay, one of those, will wrestle Lance Archer for the IWGP United States Championship #1 contenders match. And the winner of that gets to fight Mr. Kenny Omega at AEW and whatnot, or in Japan, either one. And as I announced earlier, New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Championship. They'll have another match, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jeff Cobb. Also, the IWGP Tag Team Championships are on the line. Aussie Open, the champion, versus Evil and Tajiri Takahashi versus Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, or Yoshihashi. So that's going to be interesting. It's a three-way for the title. I see Aussie Open coming out of that as champions. Also, as I mentioned earlier, the Never Openweight Championship. David Finley, the champion, is going to put the title on the line against El Phantasmo. And then, of course, as we mentioned, the IWGP World Heavyweight title, Sonata versus Yoda Sushi. I don't see Yoda Sushi winning the title, but he may give Sonata a run for his money, for who knows, But, it's going to be interesting. New Japan right now is, after Wrestling the Talk, now they're going to have the, pretty much the, I believe, the Best of the Super Juniors. I'm not going to cover that because it looks like there's nothing new coming out of that. The only guy I think supposed to be there, it's the guy from Impact. I forgot his name. That everybody thinks he's so great, but I'm not covering the New Japan Cups and whatnot. I know people are going to be like, oh, wait a minute, you're not covering that? No, I'm not covering it because, it's too much stuff going on. So I'll wait. I'll cover Dominion because I know Dominion is going to be something to watch. Also, I know Resurgence coming out May 21st for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I definitely want to check that out. So, speaking about New Japan, like I said, John Moxley's supposed to compete in Resurgence, so the match that they already signed is 6-man champions, the Never Openweight 6-man champions. Okada, Tanahashi, Ishii versus against Shota Umino, John Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta is already scheduled for Resurgence. So that's going to be interesting. Also, Rocky Romero said if anyone in WWE is fed up and wants to walk away, New Japan Pro Wrestling doors will be open. So Rocky Romero, speaking on Comedy Store Wrestling, discussed Mercedes' impact and how the door is open for any other unhappy talent in WWE. He said New Japan is in a weird spot because the pandemic hurt them. Their live event business more than anything. The pandemic happened, touring went out the window. It was important for the company to take care of their own, so nobody got fired or released. So everyone was taken care of and survived. Now they're just starting to get back on their feet. Mercedes Moné was a big investment. Obviously going forward and testing the waters of where they were in the States and worldwide when you take a big talent on like that. Now, we're starting to feel comfortable again. Long story is, basically, because Vince is back and there are people who are unhappy in WWE, there very well could be a possibility of somebody coming over, being fed up with it, and just walking away. New Japan's door will be open if that happens, for sure. I mean, New Japan's going to sign anybody. If it makes them money, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Just like Ken Bro would say, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. But if it makes money, it's going to make sense. So, also, already people talking crap again about the what's her name? Trinity. She said, I left WWE the day because of the way I was talked to and handled. She was speaking in Busted Open Radio. Trinity discussed her WWE departure and will she join Impact. She said, I chose and I want to be at Impact. The doors are open for me everywhere, literally everywhere, but I truly feel like Impact is the best choice for me at this point in my life, right now with what I want to do. And to just be able to work with talent there. I feel that is where I'll be the happiest and most utilized and really get to grow in ways that I feel that I need to right now on this wrestling journey. Had all of the stuff never happened, there's no way I would have taken that leap. The situation kind of forced me to figure it out. That's what I meant when I said everything was a blessing in disguise. I was going through a lot and felt stagnant, and I wasn't happy. Ultimately, I left that day because the way I was talked to and handled, everything kind of broke me that day, and I had nothing to do with anything else or anybody else. That was just it. I had to go through the backlash and negativity and the lies and the rumors and also feel lost. It really broke me. It was probably the lowest I ever felt in my life. Going through that, it made me reset and face it head on and figure out how to learn from this experience, grow from it, and find myself again. And all of it, I'm extremely happy now, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity to show that you haven't seen me at my best. There you go. And she might do good because WWE has their own way of having the wrestlers wrestle in WWE. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Like I said, I spoke also earlier about AEW supposedly has sold 35,000 tickets during the AEW All-In pre-sale. It's up to 56,000, probably 70,000 by now. So all these WWE stands and these AEW haters, they're right now ripping their hairs off. They're even going as far as to go to say that, that Tony Khan is buying all the seats. You know how stupid they sound? Same thing with Job Nation on Twitter and another clown in there. They're talking nonsense, and they have followers who are that stupid to follow them and whatnot because they have no clue what they're talking about. They are haters, and that's exactly what they are. They are the toxics in the wrestling community. You know, Jess Jarrett described why he deserved TV time. I don't know want to read this because this is stupid. He said emotional connection with the audience. It's just that simple. He said it's something that goes without saying. The naysayer, oh, he's done this, he's done that. All I have to do is listen to the people in the arena. They love me. There's some kind of F you, Jerry, that they get going, but I think that's the term of endearment. Dude, you came back and you pretty much on TV almost every week. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. I really don't. But, it's crazy. But real quick, before I leave, I want to talk about that damn Britt Baker shirt that was going around. And supposedly AEW should have just left. And I agree with this podcast who said that whole picture of Britt Baker with her face on a shirt with a black eye should have been left in the storyline with the Outcast, not sell it and whatnot, because you're going to get backlash from people, especially people who are very sensitive with domestic violence, even though it doesn't, represent domestic violence because it's part of wrestling. But who came out with that bright idea that it was cool to sell this stupid shirt? Okay, not everything has to be on a shirt. It doesn't. When Britt Baker had her first shirt with blood pouring all over her face, whatever, that was cool because it showed you she was a badass. But now you went and put a picture of yourself with a black eye and think it's cool for people to walk around with that, and if they don't know who Britt Baker is, they're going to be like, well, this guy is in the street walking around with a woman with a black eye. He supports domestic violence. You know how society is today. So I don't understand it. I really don't. So that is it for me today, guys. Pretty much that's it. Tonight is Backlash and whatnot. I might have some of my feedback and opinions on that and whatnot. No, I wasn't live today. So, I didn't feel like going live today. So pretty much I just recorded. So, pretty much, guys, I appreciate all the people who are supporting the Chokeslam Wrestling Report podcast. And once again, I want to give thanks to all those people who have been supporting my YouTube channel, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. You guys can follow me at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell for new uploads and hit that thumbs up. That will help my channel greatly. I will love it. Also, this is not only video, this is also will be on the audio podcast and whatnot. I will put this as an audio. You can follow that if you're gonna get a chance to get to the YouTube because you're too busy. You can't go through the computer. You go also listen it through Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, or any audio podcast, guys, that you like to listen to your favorite show. So that is it for me today, guys. Also, if you want to visit my store, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report merchandise store is tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. And there you can find your t-shirts. You're going to find the hat, the hoodies if you guys want to buy it now so you don't have to buy it next year. I got tons of t-shirts there. You can go check it out. You can register to the website. You listen to the audio podcast in there. You can also listen to the YouTube channel in there. So everything's all connected in one website. So you can check that out and whatnot. That will help me and I will appreciate it very much. Until then, guys, my name is the Ultimate One from New York City, and I will be with you again next week. And next week again, I'll give you my feedback on Backlash and my thoughts on Monday Night Raw, AEW, all the good stuff, and any news that comes in. Until then, guys, peace. Top Guy out.